again, as we look at these techniques are, you know, multitude, because we have a multitude of kata to pick them from, and quite often there is an obvious side, what we think of as the omote, and being as we're involved in hitting and kicking and punching, striking, it's fairly usual to think that I would chop, and it would be a chop to a target that should be effective, and it's going to be a hit. But we should also consider that it's not necessarily the obvious weapon. Now, previously when we checked this, we said that if this is a hit here, maybe you could use the elbow to strike. You know, so we'd drop that down and then come in. And we start to introduce the idea that there are alternate weapons other than the ones that people automatically think of. You know, you seem to be doing this, so it's this that people look at, but it could also be this that we drive in with. There are all sorts of parts of the body that could have been the actual weapon instead of what people automatically see. It's not really going to be that charging into something. It could be this or this or this surface that makes your impact. Once we know that there are different surfaces, then sometimes it's a really good idea to look at what we think of as the inner surface of the technique. So for instance, if I'm seen standing like this, then there's a big assumption that a lot of the contact's going to be here. And the initial level of bunkai will insist that it's the fist, maybe this way, maybe this way. And then we go a little bit further on and we decide that it could be the elbow or the forearm. And then we need to also consider that it could actually be all about the inside space of the technique rather than the outside space. So for instance, if we had that big hook punch coming and we enter the situation like this, then the inside space gets to seize the head while the forearm is just used as impact against the shoulder there. So this space here is what's actually got the target. Now we could be on the shoulder, we could be on the spine, but we're using that space. We then get into, maybe I go to the back of the technique and use this space this way, and then you go, well, this hand's empty. So maybe I'll just take that and put it all up there like that, and so we've got him in a hold position like this. And it's the inside space that's doing a lot of the work for us. Maybe we've got pick a technique, pick an attack. Maybe he grabs off the top of the head there. Maybe it's a wig grab, or we're talking about something that ladies might do. And if I try to wrench that off, I might end up losing the scalp. But what I can do is just put that arm into there and then bring it out. That gives me something that then starts to lead on to something else. Maybe I fill this space with the person this way or the person this way, or maybe I just use that space to capture. So if we're in here like this, maybe I pull the forehead against me and use it this way, and then we can use this way to try and lock this person up, so that we set the neck against where his own arms are going, dropping the stance as we do so. The key this week then is to say check the inside space on techniques which have a portion of them left open, you know, so that that part of the technique can be used as well.